Friday was a low-budget movie. When we first did the first movie, it was so good I had said, we know these characters, know this. You know, I know what it need to be, and they don't.
When the movie Friday came out in 1995, everyone thought it was just a funny comedy. But the real story behind the movie is something Ice Cube didn't talk about for a long time. Before he started making comedies, Ice Cube was famous for his serious music. So when he said he wanted to make a comedy movie, people were very surprised. In the early 1990s, most movies about black neighborhoods were serious. But Ice Cube knew that life in his neighborhood also had laughter and good moments. He wanted to show that side on screen. When he told people his plan, many were shocked. Some people said he was being disloyal. But Ice Cube didn't care. He had a goal to tell the truth his way. He believed that even during hard times, life could still be funny. He decided to work with DJ Pooh, who also grew up in South Central.
You know, I mean, DJ Pooh, he's like one of those undercover geniuses that...
They wanted to make a movie that showed ordinary people living their normal lives. They didn't have a big movie studio or a lot of money. They wrote a script about one single day in their neighborhood. There was no violence, just friends and funny moments. That simple idea ended up changing comedy. But making Friday was not easy. People argued, and some doubted the story would work. Studios thought no one would want to see it. But Ice Cube refused to quit. After Ice Cube left NWA, he decided to go his own way. Making a movie was new to him, but he was ready to try. He teamed up with DJ Pooh to make a film about their community. The story came right from their own lives. They wanted the movie to feel authentic.
The rights to Friday, you said? Well, they have the right to distribute the movie. We did the first one.
Money was a big problem. The big studios were not interested. Their big break came when New Line Cinema read their script and agreed to pay for it. But there was one condition: DJ Pooh could not play Smokey. So, Pooh stepped aside and took a smaller part. Ice Cube then found Chris Tucker. Once filming started, Tucker's fast jokes and energy gave the movie its special spark. His lively style worked perfectly with Ice Cube's calmer presence. When Ice Cube started looking for actors, the studio suggested famous comedians. But Ice Cube wanted someone new. He thought of Chris Tucker, a young comedian he had seen on a TV show.
Yeah, it's a movie that I get commented on more than any other.
But at Tucker's first audition, things went badly. He seemed tired and unprepared. The team started to worry. It looked like they would have to find someone else. However, the director, Gary Gray, wasn't ready to give up. He saw potential in Tucker. Gray fought for him, and actress Angela Means helped Tucker practice his lines. When Tucker came back for his second audition, he was a different person. He was confident and full of energy. He didn't just act like Smokey, he became Smokey. It all started with a moment that wasn't in the script. Angela Means decided to walk right between Ice Cube and Chris Tucker on the porch. That small change made the scene iconic. Tucker's surprised reaction was real. The film had a very small budget, and the team had only 20 days to shoot. Every minute was important. Ice Cube was serious about his job as producer and stayed sober the whole time to keep focus.
Of course, it's like, he kind of created Fridays, and I was in the first one.
The real success of Friday came from how well the actors worked together. Their connection on screen made the story feel genuine. The movie's success seemed like the start of something huge. But while the film looked smooth from the outside, trouble was starting behind the scenes. People began to disagree about creative choices for the next movies. These arguments started to pull the team apart. When Next Friday came out in 2000, fans were shocked that Chris Tucker wasn't in it. Ice Cube later explained there were two main reasons. First, Tucker had turned down a huge amount of money. The second reason was more personal. Tucker had become very religious, and playing Smokey didn't fit his beliefs anymore.
Studio, I think, want to do it, they didn't want to do it, and then Cube is spearheading that.
But there was another reason for his decision. Around the same time, Tucker was offered a role in Rush Hour, a big Hollywood action comedy that would make him a worldwide star. The money for that movie was massive, $20 million per film, something the Friday sequels could never match. John Witherspoon once joked that if he had been offered that kind of money, he would have made the same choice in a second. Still, Tucker's absence left a hole that fans noticed. Smokey's energy was a huge part of what made the first Friday so special. His chemistry with Ice Cube gave the film its spark. Without him, Next Friday felt different. It was still funny, but it was missing that unpredictable energy. Even years later, people kept asking if Tucker would ever come back to the series. But he stayed firm. He said he loved Friday and was proud of it, but he didn't want to go backward. He wanted to keep growing as an actor and as a person. For Chris Tucker, leaving wasn't a loss. It was a step toward a different kind of success. And while fans still miss Smokey, the legacy of the first Friday lives on, showing how one big decision can change everything. But behind the laughter and success, some people wondered if there was more to the story. Was it really just about religion and money? Or were there other problems that pushed him away from the team? Most fans thought Chris Tucker left the Friday series because of money or his faith. But there was a deeper issue. Faison Love, who played Big Worm and kept in touch with both Tucker and Ice Cube, hinted that there had been tension between them long before Next Friday was made. The problem was about credit. Who really made Friday such a big hit? At the start of Next Friday, there is even a line that seems to make fun of people who claim they wrote the first movie. Fans didn't pay much attention to it at first, but people involved in the project knew it was aimed at someone specific. The heart of the conflict was simple. Ice Cube had created, written, and produced Friday. It was his idea, his story, and his risk. But Chris Tucker's quick jokes and natural timing made many scenes amazing. His unscripted moments became the most famous parts of the movie. As the film got more popular, people started to see Tucker as the face of Friday. Fans loved Smokey so much that many thought his performance was what made the movie work. This started to make people forget about Ice Cube's hard work behind the scenes.
Yo, what's up? This is Ice Cube, and you know what I'm doing. I'm doing the Google Audio Complete interview.
To Cube, it felt like his effort was being ignored. On the other hand, Tucker's supporters believed his comedy gave the movie its identity. Both men had good reasons to be proud, but their pride slowly created distance between them. What started as a partnership became a quiet competition over who deserved more recognition. The argument didn't become public, but it was clear their friendship wasn't the same. The bond they shared while making the first movie had faded. In the end, Tucker moved on to new movies, and Cube continued the Friday series without him. Fans still debate who was more important to the film's success. What do you think? Was Chris Tucker's performance the real magic behind Friday, or was the movie's success more about Ice Cube's vision and writing? How do you see Ice Cube's reaction? Was he right to defend his credit, or did he take it too personally? Share your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video on your screen. You'll like it.